Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here in MLB The Show 23. And before I forget, I just want to remind everyone, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, leave your feedback on the video. It really helps me create better content. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing, liking the video, leaving feedback. I love hearing from you guys. But last episode, we left off where we finished up this opening series against Toronto at home, taking 2 out of 3. And our next series opens up the month of April against Milwaukee. And before I get into any games, a couple things that I want to just touch base with you guys. One thing is our sponsorships. Do you think I should use any sponsorships? I don't really, play Diamond Dynasty or earn packs, but if they do come up, is that something that you guys would like to see me use to maybe earn some more money that we can put towards free agents? And then another thing is, I didn't get much feedback on dropping the difficulty, but I am going to drop the hitting difficulty down to All-Star. I feel like pitching difficulty is perfectly fine at Hall of Fame, but it's just one step down to hitting difficulty. Sometimes I just, get swing happy, so I feel like this will help the series out a little bit, make it a little bit more enjoyable for both you and me. And in the last episode, since we played the full opening day game, this episode is mainly going to be our player locks. We'll get a few at the major league level, some at AAA, some at AA, get a chance to look at what we got in the draft, what we brought in free agency, and just see how this team goes along this first month of the season. We opened this series against the Brewers with an 8-4 win with Cole Irvin getting the loss. And I want to get a look at Grayson Rodriguez. And last season, he did not have a good year. He only played sparingly, 3-9 record, over a 6 ERA, over a 1.8 whip. So this season starts out as our number 5 starter, so maybe that will help him have a little bit better of a season, a little bit less pressure than being at the top of our rotation. He needs to step it up this year if he wants to try and, make this team going into next year, at least sticking around. And Garrett Mitchell beats out that ground ball. Base hit. It's not Rodriguez's fault. That's popped up into left field, and Yelich will fly out. Runner goes back to first. And this is what we're getting from the Brewers. They have Shohei Ohtani, Christian Yelich, William Contreras, Jonathan India. Very dangerous middle of the order, but at least Shohei Ohtani is only hitting, 187. But we'll see how this matchup goes with Grayson Rodriguez. And hit into left field. That's a base hit for Ohtani. Facing now William Contreras, and Grayson Rodriguez is still young. He's only 24 years old, so he still has plenty of time to develop into a starter, as that's going to be on the warning track, caught for the second out. That could have been dangerous. Now as Willie Ademaze trying to get out of this inning with no problem, no runs scored. Gets a strike on the slider for the first strike. Rodriguez throws fairly hard, 98 miles an hour on that last pitch, 97 on this one. So he has the tools to be able to get it done here at the major league level. He just has to improve those numbers. And we might be looking at bases loaded situation. Not yet. Full count for Willie Ademaze. Let's see if we can get him swinging here on the slider. And it's called strike, even better. Gets first strikeout to end the first. Able to get some run support in the bottom of the first. Comes out with a 1-0 lead. Facing Rowdy Tellez. And I'm excited to see what Grayson Rodriguez has this year. I want him to do a lot better. I want him to end up being one of our top pitchers in the rotation. A number 2, number 3 guy. As he gets called strike on Tellez right there. Staying alive. See if we can get him with a changeup. Oh, just missed. So, I believe that's 2 walks in 2 innings so far. But much better than his outings last season. Hit hard into left field on the ground. So, that will get runners at first and second now with no outs in the top of the second. Facing Luis Urias. Ooh, that was high. At this point, I'm just trying to hit a strike zone, but it's just not working. Works it back to full count. See what we can do here. Come with a changeup. Please swing. Ah, it swings through it. There's a little bit of life here for Grayson Rodriguez. If he gets in these situations, I'd like, to see him work out of it. Facing number 9 hitter Tyrone Taylor. So if we walk him, that would be not good. And got him swinging on the curveball. That's the 3rd strikeout for Grayson Rodriguez today. Back up to the top of the order with Garrett Mitchell. Believe he singled last time. This time looking for a bit better of a result for us. And gets him swinging. Takes us to the bottom of the 2nd. No help in the bottom of the 2nd, so we start the top of the 3rd, still 1-0. Facing Christian Yelich and starting off with a strike low in the zone. Rodriguez has a pretty good curveball. I'd like to get it used a little bit more than I do, but I'm still worried about them just crushing one as Yelich hits that in the cap. Going for 2, and the throw is offline, so he slides in safely with a double. And now it's Ohtani, and I don't even know what to pitch him. We'll go with cutter inside. That one didn't turn out too bad. And that's softly hit to first base. Shohei's out, but the runner will advance to 3rd. William Contreras, the former Brave, looking to bring home Ohtani, or not Ohtani, Yelich. But I'm going to do my best to stop him from doing that, but it's 3-1 right now. And couldn't get the call, so we walk him. But that does set up the double play. And facing Willie Adames, the shortstop. Hit into right field, and that's going to be down. Adames gets an RBI. That brings up Rowdy Tellez. Still the double play in effect. One-two count to Rowdy Tellez. Fouls off the curveball. Let's try it again on the inside. Peel, and he goes, and facing now Jonathan India. Looking to get out of here with only 1 run across. And umpire's just not giving me any calls. We're already at 62 pitches here in the 3rd. Just walk, the bases loaded here. 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. Trying to get out the number 8 hitter, Luis Arias. Hit up the middle, and that gets down, and that's going to score at least 1. And 2 come across. It's now 3-1. Big hit from Luis Arias. Facing out number 9 batter, Tyrone Taylor. Looking to get out of the inning, please. Just let me strike you out, Taylor. But get him swinging on the changeup on the very next pitch. And it's the end of the top of the 3rd. But we go into 4th, still down 1. Facing the top of the lineup, Garrett Rodriguez. We'll see how much longer he can stay in this game. That was pitch 71. Here's hoping we can get out of the next couple innings a little bit quicker than that last one. Felt like that took forever. Let's give him some high heat at about 100 and misses. So let's go the opposite with a changeup, and I miss also. And the cutter misses to walk the very first batter. It's not like Rodriguez's walk per 9 is low. He's missing the strike zone. I don't know what it is with me. But we'll see a few more of his, automated starts to see how those go through this inning, and we'll keep, or through this month, and we'll keep track of those starts and see how he does. He might have to get sent down again. If he gets sent down again, do we think about trading him? We only have him on, I believe, an arbitration contract right now. But honestly, right now, I feel like we still have some time to play with Grayson Rodriguez. We're not, you know, a pure contender right now, but we do get a strikeout of Christian Yelich right there. But we're not really a contender right now. I feel like working through some of these growing pains of these young pitchers is something that we could probably deal with. But we'll see how this season goes. Our pitching is, doing pretty well overall as a team throughout the first 4 games. We are 3-1. And got him looking on the changeup. That might be the best strikeout of the day for Rodriguez. I just looked at the stat book, and Rodriguez has 8 strikeouts. 8 strikeouts. That's insane. And 8 strikeouts, 3 runs. Just, he's either missing or he's either striking everybody out. So I guess that's good. Maybe. Full count now for William Contreras, and I might be dumb and change up, but he does swing and miss. So still a full count. We'll go slider a little outside. Let's see what he thinks about that. Runner goes, and he swings through it. 9th strikeout for Grayson Rodriguez. Top of the 5th, score is still 3-2. We haven't gotten much more run support. But we do get a strike there on the first pitch of the inning. Pitch number 94 for Rodriguez coming now. And it's hit off foul, but his day may be coming to an end. I don't know if he'll make it past the 5th here. But he starts off with a strikeout. He's dealing right now. Has a lot of confidence. And his energy isn't too bad either. It's like a third of a bar, maybe a quarter of a bar. So he could make a run into the 8th. That's popped up to center by Tellez. Mullins in pursuit. And it gets the out for the 2nd of the inning. And that's grounded to shortstop and out to take us to the bottom of the 5th. Grayson Rodriguez was relieved in the 6th inning, so we'll just simulate to the rest of this game. And something I didn't talk about earlier is the Brewers. If you remember in last season, that was the team that we traded for Abraham Toro and Eric Lauer, and today Toro isn't having a very good game. He's 0 for 3 so far. And we end up losing that game, unfortunately, 5-4. So that means game 3 will be the rubber match for us, as it looks like we had a pretty good day from almost all of our hitters. Abraham Toro ended 0 for 4. Rutschman was 0 for 4, but everyone else was able to get a hit. Mountcastle with the home run, and Rodriguez through 5 innings gave up 3 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, 4 walks. Doesn't look good on the ERA, but 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. He's only 24. I'll take that. Keegan Aiken came in and did even worse. Gave up 2, but Tate and Bautista, very strong. More of what we saw from last year. And we do win that final game. Looks like Flaherty had himself a good day. 6.1 innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 runs allowed. ERA down at 1.35, and good pitching out of our bullpen. Looks like we had Jerks and Profar get a triple, Urias and Mateo with doubles, and another good hitting day for our lineup. Rutschman went hitless but did have a walk, and Mullins went 0 for 3 but had 2 RBIs, so must have had some sacrifice hits. And that will take us into our first set of minor league games, and with this one I wanted to get a look at a couple players and just figured I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and we'll get a look at Percy Kutch, our second base late draft pick, who is starting out here in AAA. So he hits that into shallow right center and caught to take us to the bottom of the 1st. And that takes us to the main guy that we wanted to get a look at here in AA, and that is our number 1 draft pick, or pick number 17, but our first round draft pick, Solomon Wall. He's already our top-rated pitcher here in AA, but he could, honestly be starting in AAA, but I like to give these prospects some time. He's a 74 overall pitcher, and he could, honestly be making his start in AAA. But he gets him there with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. But I like starting, these first draft picks, their first year in AA, unless they are just, generational. Solomon Wall isn't quite that generational, but I still want to see what he has here in the lower levels. You know, see how he does here in Double-A. He could definitely be making a move up to Triple-A at some point this season. Haskins, what was that? I almost forgot for a second that I was controlling the outfield because this isn't a player lock game. But I'm quick managing so I can get a look at both Percy Kutch and Solomon Wall. These are really the only two guys in Double-A currently that I wanted to get a good look at. Some of our other prospects, they're relief pitchers. We have a couple other starting pitchers. These are probably our two best prospects from the draft. Solomon Wall looks like he throws a fastball at 90 to 95. He has a changeup, a slider, and a 12-6 curve. Here now, 3-2 to Donovan Walton, coming with the fastball down the middle, and it's a hit. Solomon Wall now here in trouble. Bottom of the first. No outs. Run on first and second. This is looking to be a little bit of the repeat that we just saw in the majors with Grayson Rodriguez. Holy shit, and that is hammered into the gap off the wall. Dylan Beavers can't get it. Haskins has to get it. And that's a base clearing double for Luis Toribio. I think I got a little bit too fastball happy in that series of events. Change up some of these pitches. Went off speed the first two. Throw it at his head for the third, Good solid strategy, and then come away with the off speed and get him looking at that. Just like you drew it up. So now the strategy is just hold him to that 2 runs and not allow any more. Solomon Wall has some good stamina, so don't expect him to get too tired easily as he strikes him out on the curveball. Popped up into shallow center. Beavers is under it and ends the first. We get some run support in the top of the second to at least tie it up. So you love to see that out of our roster. And we had some top prospects actually go and make plays. So I love to see that. 1-2 count. We'll hit him with the slider and see if we can get Sean Roby swinging. But it's a little too low. And that's going to be a base hit down the line to left. At least it was only a single. I think we will definitely see Solomon Wall at Triple-A at least sometime before the season ends. Maybe next year he can make the starting squad as maybe a 5th starter. But he's already a 74 overall, like I said. He doesn't have... I think he's actually rated right now as one of our top minor pitchers. So it won't take much for him to probably be in a better position than maybe Bradish or Zimmerman. Has 3-1 count right now to Brett Auerbach. And walks him on the changeup. So runners here at first and second again. Donovan Walton up, who does have a base hit today already. Hit into the right center gap. Haskins in pursuit, but doesn't quite have the speed to get to it. And it looks like 2 more will score for the Flying Squirrels. Not a great outing for Solomon Wall. I don't know if this is my fault or they're just hitting very well as we finally able to get out of the second with a pop-up. And that's about perfect timing to get a look at Percy Kutch. I swung very badly with him last time, and he hits that into the right gap. Down the line, looks like he's going to be in with a double. Great job from Percy Kutch. Looks like Percy Kutch didn't score. We didn't get no run support. Solomon Wall, 44 pitches here in the bottom of the third to start out. And he gets a pop-up into right, luckily. Facing now Jared Dupree. I wish Solomon Wall had a bit more speed to his fastball. This says it's 90 to 95, but he's been, consistently throwing 92, 93. It would be a little bit nicer if he had a bit more speed. Just like Grayson Rodriguez, maybe I just got spoiled with him throwing, 98 to 100 all the time. But it looks like Solomon Wall's stuff is good enough to still get some strikeouts, as he gets one right there for the second out of the bottom of the third. And he has just been right around the strike zone, but the umpire hasn't been given any calls. 3-1 now to Drew Mount, and ends up just walking him. And we'll set up a play at first or second with the number 7 hitter. Man, he's just been a bit wild now here in the third. Runner moves up to second on a wild pitch. 2-2 count. Solomon Wall just looking for it. Let me just get out of this inning, please. Are you swinging the slider? Yes, you will. End of the third. So again, no run support as we get into the bottom of the fourth. And on the offensive side, I'm only playing with Percy Kutch as of right now. So Solomon Walls gets hit into left field. Do we maybe make a change this early in the game? No. Popped up to Haskins, 1 out. Looks like Solomon Wall's fastball has been a little bit off. But 6-4-3, and we get the double play to get out of the inning. So here's Percy Kutch again, 1 for 2. A double in his last at bat on the first pitch that he saw, or that I saw. And a horrible call right there on the first pitch. Holy cow. And lazily hit to second, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. And Solomon Wall starts off the fifth, 66 pitches into his afternoon. And foul ball, luckily. And bunted, Wagner pursued, out at first. Great job by the new addition, Max Wagner, over there at third base. And Toribio is out on 3 straight pitches. I don't think he took the bat off his shoulder. Facing now the Squirrels is DH Matt Lloyd, it says. Hit into center field. Beavers, the converted right fielder, under it. And end of the fifth. We get 1 run from the offense. Now we are down by 1 in the 6th inning. Solomon Wall still out there. Only pitch 75 coming. So I'm fairly happy with how his pitch count has gone. How he's worked through his innings. He, had a first couple rough innings. I feel like that was a little bit more my fault than Solomon Wall's, as he's calmed down a bit here in the later part of this game, but walks the opening batter there. That was maybe a little bit of my fault. But we might have to call this day a little bit short, as he's been playing well but gave up a walk and now a double. Looks like he might score a run. And it does. So maybe we'll get a look at one of the relief pitchers that we drafted. But for now, we'll keep Wall out there, 3-5. I'd like to see if he can finish this second or finish this 6th inning. Wagner with another play over to third for the first out. But if Wall can get out of this, he's at least, go the amount of innings. Caruso with ball in the dirt, throws it to third. And he's safe. On to Kutch, slowly the second, and that'll score a run, but we get the second out. 6 runs by Richmond. Wow. Off of what is supposed to be our top pitcher. And definitely our top pitcher in the whole organization. But he ends the 6th, and I think that's going to do it for Solomon Wall's day, as we're going to have another draft pick come out in the 7th. But not until we get another look here at Percy Kutch, as he is a switch hitter, so he switches over to the right side of the plate, or batting right-handed now. And grounds that to the infield. Third baseman picks it up, an easy out. That was a terrible at-bat by me. And to start the 7th is going to be Jorge Valido. I believe he was our 2nd-round pick last year, 22 years old. He has a fastball, changeup, curveball, and sinker in his repertoire, and is a left-hander. He's also one of our top pitching prospects in our organization. Someone that could definitely make the jump up to AAA at some time this season. Maybe him and Solomon Wall get the call up at the same time. But these are two guys. Both of them are A potential, or I think maybe high B potentials. As Velito gets a strikeout to start his career here at AA. And looks like Velito's speed is about on par with Wall's. Throws his fastball. It says 88 to 93. So they have about the same amount of speed, the same amount of velocity. I believe Velito has a little bit more break, a little bit more promise, but can't wait until I see both of these guys up in AAA. And we have a 2-2 count here now on Donovan Walton. And rips it into right field. 4-base hit. Gets a strike on Toribio. I think it's just fun to say his name. Luis Toribio. Maybe we should trade for him just so I can say his name in some of these episodes. Let me know what y'all think about that down below. 2-2 count to Toribio. Let's see if this high fastball can get him. And he fouls it off. So we'll go with the sinker. Maybe get a double play here. And it misses. 3-2 count. Sinker a little bit higher and in the dirt. Wow. Man, this has just been a little bit of a rough outing for all pitchers at all levels for me. We get Beavers with an out in center field. Luckily, in the bottom of the 7th, 2 outs now. And I think maybe after Velito pitches, we might just let the game auto-manage itself. See kind of how the computer takes it. I think I've seen all I kind of really want to see here in AA. Looks like our offense didn't do too much. Juan Caruso is the only one with multiple hits. We had 7 strikeouts. Solomon Wall could have been a better outing. 6 innings, 6 runs, has a 9 ERA, 7 strikeouts. So maybe it was just me, but we'll see how the rest of his first month checks out, just like Grayson Rodriguez. But Jorge Velito comes in, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 hit. Pretty good. Cameron Dickinson, another draft pick of ours, comes in and gets an inning and gets the strikeout. So a good outing from both of them. And I finished simming out the week, and looks like we lose against the Guardians. Cole Irvin picks up the loss, score of 3-1, and then Dean Kramer also picks up a loss, 7-2, and that takes us to Sunday, which means we can check on some of our scouting. And my scouting I'm going to try and do this year is a little bit different. I'm going to try and use this first scout as getting a look at who we want to take with our first pick. We have the number 11 pick this year, and then the next 2 scouts we're going to be using to just broadly scout a position. So this first week it was right fielder, but what I'll do is I'll look at who this is. So he's a East Coast guy, a Central guy, a Central, East Coast, something like that. Find out the first few, and then I'll go in and scout that. So we looked at Central and East region for last week, and this week we're going to change it up to another position. And if you were wondering about Sammy Rodriguez, why I picked him, he had a lot of power. He had decent contact. He's a switch hitting first baseman who is great. Looks like he has some very good fielding ratings, some power, especially against a righty. So he is someone that I could see us, taking a chance on. And it looks like the number 1 player is actually a relief pitcher. Where was this last year? Where was the number 1 relief pitcher that we needed last year? Looks like 80 to 99 overall potential. Maybe we'll scout relief pitchers this round. It looks like that's where all the top prospects are. They have the most people in the top 50 that I've seen so far for a position. Oh, this is a shortstop who's 16th in the draft ranking, but 6th on our board. Good contact, decent power, good vision and discipline. Looks like he's got some speed, can play in the field. I feel like this might be one of the guys that we will add to that first position. But I'd really like to know if he has some more secondary positions. Shortstop, we're a little bit deep at right now. We could use a second baseman, but Jackson Holiday might be making that switch. So I don't know exactly what we need to look at for this draft. I feel like we could always use pitching. We can always use outfielders. And I think I want to go with the Central and the International with center fielders. Carlos Montoya, if, all of his future stats look like that, I feel like he could be somebody who could come in and be a very good contributor at the major league level. Decent contact, powers, good fielding, arm strength, speed, accuracy, everything that you want in an outfielder. He might struggle a little bit in the vision and discipline, but we might can overlook that. The Alexis Quintero, 26th in the draft ranking, 23rd in ours, 18 years old, hits right, throws right. Just look at those future ratings. Even look at his present ratings where the max is. This could be that generational guy that we were looking at. And Cedric Mullins is getting up there in age. We have Colton Cowser. I don't know if he's as good as this guy, but we will see in next week what he does bring to the table. So we'll stick with this, scouting Rico Rivera, Central center field, and International center field. And see if we can win this final game against Cleveland. And we do in a 9-7 win with Aaron Ashby picking up the win for us. It's like Mullins went 0 for 4. Wow. Rutschman and Mountcastle both had 3-hit days. Gunnar Henderson went 4 for 5. Maybe we move him up in the order. Maybe move Abraham Toro down. I think we're going to do that to start off the next series. And Aaron Ashby. Why is Aaron Ashby starting? Oh, because Eric Lauer is hurt. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have to fix that before we get into our next game. But I mean, hey, he didn't do terrible. And now I want to simulate through this Yankees series. We win the first one 4-3. That was Grayson Rodriguez starting, but Tyler Wells gets the win. So I wonder what happened there. Abraham Toro actually hit a triple. I didn't change the lineup, but I'll do that before the next game. Grayson Rodriguez, 5 innings, 3 earned runs. Tyler Wells, Ken Giles, Felix Bautista, of course. All of them are great pitchers for us out of the pen. And we sim through this Yankees series, and we actually have a 4-game sweep. We're on a 5-game winning streak. So that takes us into a AAA game, which I think you all might know who I want to see as one of our top prospects in the organization. And that's going to be number 14 top total ranked prospect, Jackson Holliday. Hitting second and playing second. He has a 225 average on the season. He actually started off the season fairly well. Had over a 400 average through the first week, but has fallen off a bit. Here in a 0-2 count now to Zach Davies. And wow, we're down 3-0 already. But I always want to keep getting a look here at Jackson Holliday as I strike out, because he is next in line probably for a call up to the major leagues whenever we need a infielder. Abraham Toro hasn't been playing very good, and if Jackson Holliday can keep up playing well for a month or two, he might get a call up to the majors and supplant Abraham Toro. But I'm looking forward to seeing Jackson Holliday in the majors. And he might be someone else that might see that roster before the season is over, and I think we could easily see him come up with the big league club during September call-ups. 1-2 count with a man on first, so maybe I'll just contact swing here. And foul. That was a little too close for my comfort to not swing at. And same thing with that. Man, he has a lot of break on that two-seamer. Oh, and got me on the changeup. Maybe I can use this fielding opportunity as a bit of a palate cleanser. Kind of reset. And that's a routine out. And here he is in the bottom of the 6th. 0 for 2 today. Nobody on. Down by 2 to whatever this team is. Last game, Holliday went 0 for 4. So definitely want to try and get a hit here to maybe jumpstart a bit of a hitting streak, as that is an absolutely terrible call. What is that? Come on now. Oh my. Counts even at 2-2. I really don't want to strike out. And got me swinging at a ball in the dirt and out. And this might be our last chance to get a hit here in this game. Jackson Holliday, 0 for 3 already. New pitchers on the mound though, so maybe that can help us a bit. Oof. Man, that pitch was at 97. And his slurve is 80 to 84. Wow. Got me swinging on the fastball. I was just... That speed difference is crazy. And we do lose that game. So, unfortunately, Jackson Holliday has his second 0 for 4 game in a row. And the rest of our team just couldn't get anything going either. We only had 5 total hits. Dominic Smith, Colton Cowser at least got doubles along with Ryan McKenna. Seth Johnson went 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Darwinzon Hernandez, I actually moved him to the closer here in AAA, and he has been doing fairly well at it. We drop our first 2 against Houston to end the week on a low note, but we get another chance to look at our scouting and see what Rico Rivera looks like. Potential kind of stayed up where it was, 69 to 94. Looks still like he's going to be good contact, good vision, discipline, good speed, a decent fielder, and he can play second and third, so that is definitely a plus. Some of these center fielders, it looks like their draft ranking on our board did go up. Alexis Quintero, who I was looking at, not much changed on him. It looks like his fielding is actually going to be pretty much major league ready, and he might actually be a better player with a lower potential. But we have some other good center fielders. Kenny Kroger, 5th on our draft board, 17th in the draft ranking. Could be someone who we definitely have an opportunity at. Maybe we'll do that next. We'll scout some West Coast, maybe some East Coast, since that's what we missed last time. And I found what might be Chipper Jones incarnate here at third base. A switch hitter, 18 years old, out of Canada. And I think we'll roll with that. Mason Henderson, getting a look at some of these other center field prospects, and we'll see how all this looks next week. Where we finish out this series against Houston, taking 2 of 4, so splitting the series, which is nice. Eric Lauer and Flaherty get wins. Grayson Rodriguez and Cole Irvin get losses, unfortunately. But Rodriguez's ERA is going down, only a 4.5 now. And we have a series against Kansas City where we win the first one 2-1. Cole Irvin gets a win here, 6-2, and Grayson Rodriguez gets his first win of the season to a tune of 6-3. And I think I want to get into a player lock game here at the major league level. And we're going to see what Gunnar Henderson has here, hitting .375 right now. 5 home runs on the short season, about halfway through the month of April. And that's a base hit into left field to advance the runner that's on first. And we have 2 runners on second and first now. And looks like we don't get anything out of the runners in scoring position, but we do have a fielding opportunity now here in the bottom of the first. Gunnar Henderson runs on it, makes the throw, and gets the runner at first. So we get another opportunity here in the fourth. Hopefully we can get some run support for Jack Flaherty, who is on the mound today. And first pitch popped it up to second base. Wow, that's horrible. Let me hear it in the comments. Let me know how terrible that was. Okay, so we're in the fifth. We have a runner on first, Cedric Mullins. It's a tie ball game, 2 outs. I'm going to try and be patient, but he throws me a strike right down the middle. What is that? And then he has me reach for a strike just outside. What is this pitcher doing? Oh, my God. The change-ups. All right, let's try this again. Trying to get a little bit more offense for you guys here in this episode. Henderson is at least 1 for 3. And grounds into a double play. But at least some good news. At least we walk out of here with a win. Final score of 3-2. It looks like we had an okay day from our offense. Mountcastle, Mullins, Austin Hayes, Abraham Toro all went hitless, but Jorge Mateo hit his 4th home run of the day and had a triple and 2 RBIs. Great day from Jorge Mateo. Flaherty 6.2 innings with 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Ken Giles is now our setup man. A great job from them. Aaron Ashby out of the pen where he's supposed to be, does good in 1 inning of relief. So we win the first game against Cincinnati, and I want to keep simulating and take us to the last game of the week, simulate into the next month, and maybe get one more player lock and then kind of show you the stats and the standings and how we're looking at the end of the episode. But first we get to look at our scouting again since it is Sunday, and Mason Henderson, looks like his power went down a bit. He's very high contact still. I do want to see what he has a little bit more of. Maybe we scout him for another week. And at center field in the West and the Central, it looks like Kenny Kroger is still pretty solid, good power. But I'm thinking that I'm liking some of this scouting because even, a lot of these non-ranked players and very late draft picks, we're getting at least 20% scouting, so it's not, going blindly into the dark. And we might have another chance to scout some of these positions at this and get, at least up to 40%, something like that. And I think for our position, we will just go ahead and start scouting some of these pitchers. I saw there was some in the International and some in the East that are probably at the top of the board. So we'll get a look at what some of those pitchers look like. And we will sim another week. We end up losing the last 2 against Cincinnati. So 1 for 3 in that series. And then against Toronto, who we opened up the series against, we win 1 of 3. Looks like Austin Hayes is playing much better than last season. He went 4 for 5 in this game. Holy cow. And Gunnar Henderson went 3 for 5 in the second spot in the lineup. So, maybe we actually move Gunnar Henderson way up in the lineup. This is currently what it's looking like right now. Oh yeah, Gunnar Henderson is hurt for a few days. So it looks like Jurickson Profar is taking over that spot. So we will wait until Gunnar Henderson gets back and then maybe change up this lineup a bit, but I do want to move Mullins up for Mountcastle. So let's see what that lineup looks like, taking us to the end of the week. And looks like Henderson only misses 1 game, but we get a win out of Eric Lauer, drops his ERA down to 5.53. And right now, while Ramon Urias is kind of in a cold streak, he doesn't have any home runs, only hitting 208, I am going to move Jurickson Profar to third base to kind of finish out the month, and we'll see how he plays. I was thinking about moving Luis Guillorme there, but he doesn't have many home runs, not only 2 RBIs. He has a high average, so he's hitting very well. He's getting on base, but for right now, we're going to be rolling with Jurickson Profar too. But if he gets on a cold streak, boom, Guillorme is there. So we'll send this game against the White Sox, and it takes us to another scouting assignment, but we lose with Tyler Wells picking up the loss. We had an 0 for 4 day from Gunnar Henderson with the new lineup, 0 for 4 day for Hayes, 0 for 2 for Toro, and everyone else at least got a hit. Home run from Mullins. Dean Kramer went 6.1 with 2 earned runs, and Tyler Wells, holy cow, 1.1 inning, 3 earned runs. That's not what we like to see, but every pitcher has a bad game every now and then. And Mason Henderson is fully scouted, very high contact, below average power, below average discipline vision, but very good fielding. We might not go for him just because that low vision and discipline. 74 as the highest cap. We'll see. If he falls maybe to the second round, that could be potential. But you guys let me know if you think he's worthy of a first round pick. And some of these starting pitchers that we looked at, it looks like Sean Rivera is going to be a very good pitcher. We unlocked 31% of his scouting. Looks like we have a bunch of others, 20 and 40%. Wow, very high stamina. But I think now we'll go with starting pitcher for the West and the Central, just to kind of even it up. And it looks like someone got added to the board at first baseman, or maybe moved up the board. Tadahito Takatsu, let me know if I'm butchering that, but he moved ahead of Sammy Rodriguez, but he looks to be an amazing player, and we're going to highlight him and see what he has. And I went to simulate to another game, and the Rangers offered us a trade, Jonathan Hernandez for Darwinzon Hernandez. These guys brothers? Huh? From Venezuela? Oh, from Tennessee? Okay, so maybe not. Jonathan Hernandez looks to be, he's the same age, 72 overall B potential. Hernandez is 27, 73 in C potential with a lot lower walks. Jonathan doesn't quite have the K per 9 that Darwin's and Hernandez has, or the home run per 9. But Hernandez seems to be a little bit more of a complete pitcher, and he has higher stamina, so this might be a trade that we come back to. You guys let me know if you would like to see this. I am definitely leaning towards making this, but I don't know. We'd have to send someone down like Tony Santillan, and his pitching to a 4.32 ERA in 8 innings. Whereas Hernandez has 3 innings pitched, so he's not getting much time. A 2.7 ERA, 0.9 whip, and 5.4 K per 9. So you'd like to see that up a little bit higher, but let me know what you guys think, because I am very indecisive when it comes to stuff like this. I want to simulate to the final game of the month, and I think this time I want to get into, well, I accidentally simulated to the last game in April, and it took us into May 1st, which means we get some update on some of our players. So we're just going to end the episode here. I'll take y'all through these stats and what all this looks like. But Adam Hall did not play very well in AA. Cade Povich in AAA did not play well. Caden Grenier played well in AA. Shortstop Drew Ron, the starting pitcher, had a good month of April. Joey Crable had a good month of April. So maybe Crable could be someone who we end up trading. He's pitching well in AAA, 2.31 ERA. Right now, we have some depth at our relief pitcher, and we have some starters that could make a jump up. But you guys let me know if you think that Joey Crable could be trade bait once we get to the trade deadline. Santander leads us in, oh, nice, 420. Hell yeah, blaze it. Mountcastle, 19 home runs. Cedric Mullins, 18. Or RBIs, sorry, not home runs. Jorge Mateo leads us in stolen bases with 5, Mullins with 4, Rutschman impressively with 3. The first starter with the highest average is Gunnar Henderson, 367 on-base percentage. But Stowers, Guillaume Profar, not everyday batters, but Connor Joe has a 385 on-base percentage as well. That's very impressive. Walks go to Adley Rutschman with 14. Mountcastle has the most strikeouts, so might have to drop him a bit in the order to kind of make up for that. Santander has 11 doubles, 3 triples for Mateo. Wow. Team is playing very good so far, it looks like, to begin the season. We'll see how these, ratings or these stats stack up to the rest of Major League Baseball. Rutschman with a 1.7 WAR already. For our pitchers, Jack Flaherty is doing exactly what we brought him in to do. He's 4-1 right now, 2.23 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. Playing lights out, as is Eric Lauer. I love to see these 2 additions that we made. The trade for Eric Lauer in season 1, the free agent pickup of Jack Flaherty to begin season 2. Both of them are paying off to begin the season, at least in wins. 3-1 for Eric Lauer. He doesn't have the ERA. Maybe we drop him down in the rotation. You guys let me know what you think. Cole Irvin's 2-3. Who has the most loss? Cole Irvin. Okay. Grayson Rodriguez is 1-2, but his statistics are coming down a lot better than he did last year. 6.02 ERA last year, and before we brought him up and let him start again, it was at a 9. So much better start to this season. WHIP leader is Felix Bautista, of course. ERA leader Bautista with a 0, I guess. But of our starters, Flaherty at a 2.23. Flaherty has a 0.6 WAR, and Irvin, Wells, and Kramer are all in the negative. We're looking at these team rankings for batting average. Wow, we are 9th, 271 team average. For runs, we're tied with 10th with 134 through the first month. Doubles, we're 9th. We're leading in triples with 14. With home runs, we're tied for 17th. Man, this is exciting to see us in top 10 of all these categories. 9th in RBIs. Stolen bases, I feel like we're very low on that. Wow, we're tied for 15th. So yeah, not getting many stolen bases. Maybe we can pick that up as the season goes on. And then for some of our pitching stats, we are 11th in ERA with a 3.68 team ERA. We are tied for first in saves with 14. We're tied for 9th fewest runs allowed with 116. we have actually allowed a lot of home runs, tied for 27th in home runs with 43. So, wow, the Pirates have allowed 53 home runs. I can't wait until we play them. I think we play them next episode, so maybe we get a game against them, leading us in strikeouts, or we are 11th in strikeouts with 230. We're 5th in win percentage. This is our team batting average, so that's our stats. We are playing very well. Wow, we are at first in the AL East, sitting at 19-12 through the first month. Yankees at 16-14. Remember, we did sweep them in the first month, but this is what all the standings look like. The Tigers are leading in the AL Central. That can't be sustainable. The Angels as well, especially since they lost Shohei. In the NL East, the Marlins are leading. What is happening? All these bad teams. Okay. In the NL West, that's about the same. Dodgers, Padres at the top. So, next episode, we will get into the month of May. Looky here, we have some games against the Pirates. Y'all think we should play against them? Maybe get a bunch of home runs since they have allowed 10 more on the season than us. But you guys let me know what you would like to see. Who y'all would like to see me maybe have a couple player lock games next week. Maybe at the major league level, the minor league level. We didn't see Heston Kjerstad. We didn't see any Dominic Smith, Joey Ortiz at AAA. Maybe at AA, we want to see Alexander Ramirez or Lewin Diaz, or maybe some more of these guys at the majors. Some Santander, Hayes, Mateo. But we will play a full game. We might get into a couple player lock games, and we'll finish out the month of May. But you guys let me know what you would like to see, and I will leave it right there. And I hope to see you all next time. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave your feedback down below, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.